on what the fuck is happening, man? On a freaking Saturday. How's everybody doing tonight, man? We are live on a damn Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen. Um, some of these basketball games we're going to talk about. Let's see here. I'm going to go a little bit backwards today. I think baseball real quick. Greg Kimbrell, who I don't feel that good of a closer, but he's always getting in trouble. But he keeps getting signed now. He's been signed by the Mets. Man, how many players did the Mets sign this week? Holy frijoles. The Mets signing so many players this week. Holy frijoles, man. So they signed Greg Kimbrell to the Mets. And then the next thing, so that's basically it. And then what? The next thing for Mike McCarthy is now the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I thought they were going to go with somebody a lot younger, right? Because they have history of having coached for like 15 years, right? Chuck Noll, Mike Tomlin, Bill Cowher were there for like 15 years. So I was very surprised that they decided to just only go with Mike McCarthy. I think it's like what, in his 60s, 50s. Best case scenario, he's probably got about 10 years for them. I don't think he's going to be nowhere as there is Mike Tomlin and the rest of these guys or Mike McCarthy. Let's see if they can also bring Aaron Rodgers back. That would also be interesting, man. We'll see what happens. Let's go to basketball, man. I have to watch two games today. The Philadelphia versus the Knicks, 112-109. Very exciting game. The Knicks pull it out, man. It was a fun back and forth game. Philadelphia tried to do everything they could, but at the end, the freaking Knicks won, man. Karl Towns, 10 points. OJ Adebayo, 23 points. Josh Hart, 10 points. Jalen Brunson, 31. Jalen Brunson had a good game, 31 points. He led the way for them. For the Philadelphia, Joel Embiid, obviously, 38 points, 11 rebounds. You know, he kind of messed up his knee at the end there. He seemed like he was limping, but he stayed in the game. Paul George didn't play that good tonight, only 9 points. Paul George is past his prime, man. He's past his prime. Kelly Oubre, 14 points. Vander Esch, 14 points. And Terrence Maxey, 22 points. So, yeah, I mean, compared to a few days ago when they beat Houston, you know, in that game, Tyrese Maxey did a good job matching with Joel Embiid. Not too much tonight. Joel Embiid had 38. Tyrese Maxey only had 23. Paul George only had 9. So, like, the supporting cast wasn't terrible, but it wasn't as good as it was a few days ago versus Houston for Joel Embiid tonight. Neither Tyrese Maxey or Paul George played as good as, especially Tyrese Maxey, as he a few days ago in Houston. But anyways, the Knicks win at 112-109. The next game, man, Lakers versus the Mavericks. This game, I thought it was going to be a very easy win for the Lakers. And they got complicated. For a while there, the Mavericks took like about a 5-point lead. At the end there, the Lakers out of nowhere kind of won by 15 points. I think at one point they were down by 15 points. And they ended up coming back and winning by 15. Very weird game. But the Lakers pulled it out, man. Luka Doncic led the way with 33 points and 11 assists. Marcus Smart, 13 points. DeAndre Ayton, 9 points, 11 rebounds. Lavarea, 13 points. And then LeBron James, 17. And then Hachimura off the bench with 17. Luka Doncic, obviously, always exciting when he gets back in Dallas. It's going to be I think next week is going to be a year anniversary of him getting traded. But yeah, man, Luka Doncic doing his thing. Lakers are a very weird team, ladies and gentlemen. They are a very, very weird team. You just never know, man, if they're going to win or lose. I think they beat the Nuggets a few nights ago, but then they lost to the Clippers. And now tonight they almost, like I said, they were winning the whole game, and then they fell down by 15. And then at the end they end up coming back and winning by 15. The Los Angeles Lakers are very weird here in the year 2025, 2026, ladies and gentlemen. They really are. It's going to be interesting, though, with this team because, you know, with the new ownership coming in, Mark Walter, this is not his coach, right? JJ Redick. So if they continue to be, like, up and down, he might say, I want to hire my own coach. So that's why I feel like if I'm JJ Redick, I'm going to have a conversation probably here very soon with, like, Rob Pelinka and tell him, hey, like, I have a little bit of pressure with the new owner coming in. He might want a new. He want if I'm struggling, he might say, I didn't pick this guy to be my coach. I want a new coach. So if I'm JJ Redick, I'm like, hey, Rob Palinquas, we got to Palinka. We got to Palinka. Yeah, Palinka. We got to Rob Palinka. Anyways, we've got to like make this team better defensively. Guys, I was LeBron, Reeves, Luca. They're fine offensively, but defensively they can't really guard. So they gotta get better on defense, man. They gotta go out and get a bunch of like 3-and-D players, like what they have with Marcus Smart. They gotta get more of that. They gotta get guys that can play defense, man. And they got us around. They got us around Luca with like 7-footers that he can throw up and lob it, and then so like Ayton is actually Ayton. 9 and 11, right? But I think they're better off with the style. Luca wants a big man that can that's athletic and he can throw the ball up to and he can slam it down. So Ayton is not that bad, right? Even though we're only 9 and 11 tonight. But they need guys like Marcus Smart that can play defense and they can shoot threes. That's what they got to do going forward, man. What they have with Ayton and Marcus Smart, that's what they got us around Luka with in the future. Otherwise, it's not going to work. A bunch of the players on this team cannot play defense, man. I don't know what LeBron James is. I think LeBron is still making like $50 million a year. They've got to either cut the salary down or let him go. Simple as that, man. Like I said, they got to build this thing around Luka Doncic. So what's Luka Doncic's weakness is? He can't defend. They got to put a bunch of defenders around him. You got to build it up like that. A bunch of Marcus Smarts and a bunch of DeAndre Aytons. You want to keep Austin Reeves so he can be that true Robin, and can give you, 25, 35 a night along with Luka. Fine. But after that, I think you've got to put a bunch of defenders and a bunch of athletic big men that Luka can lob it up to. Simple as that. What you have with Ayton and Marcus Smart, that has to be your whole team around Luka Doncic in the future. Otherwise, sadly, JJ's going to have to, Coach Redick's going to have to pay the price. And he's going to end up losing his job because the new owner didn't hire him. Dwight Powell, I don't know what the hell. Dwight Powell played 25 minutes, didn't score a single point. Dwight Powell, do you know how to play basketball? Like, what happened tonight? Caleb Martin, 17 points. Najee Marshall, 21. Cooper Flagg, 16 for Cooper Flagg. And then Max Christie, 24 points. And then off the bench, Brendan Williams with 20. PJ Washington, he only 3 points for PJ Washington. Klay Thompson, 5 points in 15 minutes. I don't know where the hell the Mavericks, man. That might be the same thing. They might have to just build around Cooper Flagg and let everybody go. You have Max Christie, too bad of a young player. Caleb Martin, obviously he's got that championship playoff experience with the Miami Heat. But I don't know, man. That Marshall kid's not bad either. 21 points, 11 rebounds. Yeah, it just sucks that like they're supposed to contend for championships, but their two best players are always hurt. And Kyrie Irving, man, and it just sucks. I don't know what to do, man. I'm so apologized. I really am. Let's talk about what the fuck is happening? Excuse me, I don't want to curse. I'm a professional. Final thing we want to talk about tonight is Saturday night's main event. Tonight, WWE, very fast, much easy show to watch than SmackDown. SmackDown, oh my Lord, it was so tough to watch. But this was an easy show. Like, what was it, 4 or 5 matches? Literally, I think the show didn't even last 2 hours. I think I started watching like 1 a.m, was over by 3 a.m. It was a very easy show to watch. I think pretty much 3 matches. I think the first match they threw away. It was just for about 15 minutes. Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes beating the hell out of each other all over the arena. At the end, Drew McIntyre comes out and he throws. I think both of them he threw tables. And then we have what did he have? The tag team match: Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Perez for the women tag team champions. It was a fun match at the end. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley retain their tag team championships, so they're still the tag champions. Then we have a really fun match. This was a really, really, really good match. I think by far the best match of the night. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. It was a really fun match, back and forth. Really made it believable. Like Shinsuke had a chance to win this match. He countered a lot of his stuff until the end. I didn't realize that. I think he only hit one phenomenal forearm off the top rope, and then the Styles clash, and then he won. Right? So they kept having Shinsuke counter all his moves except the finisher. Maybe if it would have been a pay-per-view match, they would have kicked out, but maybe they didn't want to go 2 hours since it wasn't a pay-per-view match. But a lot of people believe the reason they did this match is because that was one of his biggest historic opponents, and they said, let's give him Shinsuke one more time before he retires next week versus Gunther. We'll see what happens, man. Supposedly the contract is expected to end sometime here very soon, so it could be possible AJ Styles could retire next week at the Royal Rumble. And then the final match, the Fatal 4-Way match, Trick Williams, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, and Damian Priest. The winner faces Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. Whatever. I thought it was kind of hard to follow up that AJ Styles Shinsuke Nakamura match, but they did the best they could. At the end, Sami Zayn wins. I believe he hit the Haluva kick on Damian Priest, and he pinned them 1, 2, 3. After the match, once again, Drew McIntyre tried to get involved, but nothing happened. I think he tried to punch Sami. Sami got out of the way, and then he just threw him to the top rope. And that was basically the show. At the end, a face-off. McIntyre outside the ring, Sami Zayn inside the ring, having a face-off, and that's the end of the show. It wasn't too bad. I mean, you did kind of advance a few storylines. You had that classic, right? Honestly, between AJ and Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. I think a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen because why would Drew McIntyre get involved in the Jacob Fatu Cody Rhodes fight, right? A lot of people are saying that they're slowly planting the seeds for a triple threat match between Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, and Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, and that's why apparently they're really high on Jacob Fatu. Imagine if when it's all said and done, Sunday, I think April 19, WrestleMania, Jacob Fatu is the WWE champion and Braun Breaker's the world champion. Imagine, right? Because Triple H has been criticized that all his champions are averaging 41 years old. That's the average. I know he's pissed off that they're saying that he doesn't allegedly, he doesn't hire a lot of African Americans. And apparently there was this week there was a bunch of African Americans that got brought in for tryouts. Maybe he's gonna do the same thing, and he's like, hey, you guys complain about all my champions being 41 or older. Here you go. I'm gonna give you 2 young guys in Jacob Fatu and Braun Breaker coming out of WrestleMania, right? Wouldn't be shocked. It's possible, man. It's possible, man, that could be, when it's all said and done, once WrestleMania is finished, that could be the champions. Don't be surprised, man. They're both in the main event picture, honestly. So we'll see. And then what? Drew McIntyre's gonna beat Sami Zayn. Interesting how I believe Sami Zayn, he's from Canada, which, I think Montreal, his hometown tonight. But I thought he has some ties with Saudi Arabia. I'm not sure exactly how. So he's going to kind of get another hometown, crowd next week in Saudi Arabia. So kind of interesting how they did that back-to-back, home crowds for Sami Zayn in Canada and Saudi Arabia. So we'll see how that goes for Sami Zayn. But my guess is McIntyre wins. They're going to have McIntyre probably have the champion until WrestleMania. No way. And you know how Triple H is. He likes the long reign. So, and he's gonna have the title at least 3 months at least. He won it what in January? Yeah, it's only been champion for like 3 weeks, so he's gonna have it for probably the sooner I think he loses is probably at WrestleMania. Other than that, I think he's gonna be champion. But we'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna call it a night. I will be back tomorrow. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, it was a fun day today, honestly. For first day since what August without football on a Saturday, not too bad. We could have gotten even more games, but one of the games got canceled. Minnesota Warriors, but NBC did a great job today stacking them up. You know, back to back to back. And they put the boys back on, Charles Barkley and Shaq and Kenny Smith. So let's see, man. If this is the way they're gonna do it now on Saturdays, I'm excited. Let's see what happens, man, going forward. I'm out like a